ಗುರುಭ್ಯೋ ನಮಃ. ಇವತ್ತಿನ ದಿವಸ ಶ್ರೀರಿತ್ವಿಕ್ ಶಾಸ್ತ್ರಿ ಅವರು ನಕ್ಷತ್ರ ಸೂಕ್ತಂ ಅನ್ನೋದ್ರಲ್ಲಿ ನಕ್ಷತ್ರ ಸೂಕ್ತದ ನಕ್ಷತ್ರಗಳ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಮಂಡನೆ ಮಾಡಲಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ನಕ್ಷತ್ರ ಸೂಕ್ತಗಳು ಅನ್ನುವಂಥದ್ದು ಉದುಕ ಶಾಂತಿ ಆ ಪ್ರಯೋಗದಲ್ಲಿ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. ಬೇರೆ ಬೇರೆ ಸಂಹಿತ, ಬ್ರಾಹ್ಮಣ ಅದರಲ್ಲೆಲ್ಲ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ಮುಖ್ಯವಾದಂತಹ ಅಂಶಗಳನ್ನು ತಗೊಂಡು ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ಐತಿಹಾಸಿಕ ರೆಫರೆನ್ಸಸ್ ಅದನ್ನು ಕೊಟ್ಟು ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ಮಹತ್ವ ಏನಿದೆ ಅನ್ನೋದನ್ನು ಹೇಳಿ, ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ಆಸ್ಟ್ರೋನಾಮಿಕಲ್ ಆಗಿ ಏನಾದರೂ ರೆಫರೆನ್ಸಸ್ ಇದ್ರೆ ಅದನ್ನು ಕೊಟ್ಟು ಅದನ್ನ ಮಂಡನೆ ಮಾಡಿ ನಮಗೆ ತಿಳಿಸಲಿದ್ದಾನೆ ಶ್ರೀ ಋತ್ವಿಕ್ ಶಾಸ್ತ್ರಿ.
ಶುರು ಮಾಡೋಣ. ಓಂ ಶ್ರೀ ಗುರುಭ್ಯೋ ನಮಃ. ಹರಿ ಓಂ. ಓಂ ನಕ್ಷತ್ರಾಣಿವ ಅಪಮಾಯತನಂ ಆಯತನವಾನ್ ಭವತಿ ಯೋ ನಕ್ಷತ್ರಾಣಾಮಾಯತನಂ ವೇದ ಆಯತನವಾನ್ ಭವತಿ. ಆಪೋ ವೈ ನಕ್ಷತ್ರಾಣಾಮಾಯತನಂ ಆಯತನವಾನ್ ಭವತಿ ಯ ಏವಂ ವೇದ ಯೋಪಮಾಯತನಂ ವೇದ ಆಯತನವಾನ್ ಭವತಿ. ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ನಮಸ್ಕಾರ. Today we'll be doing the second part of Nakshatra Sookta. We'll go through a brief recap of what we did in the last session. So all of us studied that since time immemorial, humans have been imaginative creatures, and we also saw twinkling stars in the sky. We saw what is this twinkling in the sky, anta. Then we saw that how our rishis and munis long ago knew what are these nakshatras. So today I'll be speeding up a little because last time we went in detail about what is adhidevata, pratyadhidevata, the intricate scientific movements of the moon, along with the captivating esoteric stories from the Puranas and the enriching etymologies of words. So before starting, just like yesterday, I would like to give a small disclaimer. I might be using words such as Lord, God, star, spirituality, but these words are no substitute to the words that we use, such as Devata, Nakshatra, so on and so forth. Just to give you a small example, if you ask any person what is the meaning of a star, they can't tell you. But if you ask me what is a nakshatra, I will say it is naksharati iti nakshatraha. So this is what we learned yesterday. We saw that in Yajurveda there are 28 nakshatras if we include the Abhijit nakshatra. Usually it starts with Kritika and ends with Bharani, but we have learned it in a different way where Kritika comes in the third. So in total in Nakshatra Sookta we have 30 mantras, 28 for nakshatras and 1 for Poornima and 1 for Amavasye. Next we understood the etymology of what nakshatra means, just as I told you, naksharati iti nakshatraha, that celestial object that doesn't move. Another meaning for this was nakal plus kshatra, that means a celestial body that has got rulership over the night. Then we saw that nakshatras are placed in all the lokas, between all the lokas, and the ones that we refer to, the 28 nakshatras that we refer to, these are the constellations that lie in the orbital path of the moon. That is why we call it Chandramana. As we know, there are Chandramana and Sauramana. Those are the Panchangas. We follow the Chandramana, that is the lunar calendar. Next, we understood how they measured time because of the phases of the moon, how they measured masas, samvatsara, yuga, how our rishis and munis measured time. Then we saw the different phases of the moon, how months were divided on the basis of the phases of the moon. We learned that there is Amavasya, Shukla Paksha, Poornime, Krishna Paksha, and Amavasya. So we learned everything in detail. Then yesterday we covered Kritika Nakshatra and Rohini Nakshatra. Today we'll be covering from Vragashira Nakshatra to Swati Nakshatra. That is the 13th one over here, that also says Vrishabha. Then yesterday we also learned the concept about Adhidevata and Pratyadhidevata. Adhidevata in simple terms is principle of perception, and Pratyadhidevata is the assistant of Adhidevata, as we can say. Then I gave an example saying that Adhidevata can be the sun, that is principle of perception. Then I gave the example of Rama, how Rama ruled over Ayodhya even though he wasn't there but Bharata was ruling. Then I gave you the example of Murtis. In today's world, we have too many leftists and liberals saying that this Murti Puja is Patthar Puja and all those stuff, all those bad stuff. So the first thing I would like to say to all of them is, Ele Mahamurkhane, oh Mahamurkhane, please first understand what is the concept of Adhidevata and Pratyadivata. So we say that Devru is Nirguna, Nirakara, and all those terms. But how will you imagine a Nirguna Swarupa? When you give it when you give that nirguna that swarupa a murti, you will understand that is the adidevata that you are referring to. That becomes your principle of perception. We use this concept of adidevata and pratyadivata even in our satyanarayana puja. While we do navagraha puja, we do all graha aradhane. For example, we have taken surya graha aradhane, where we say suryam raktavarnam raktamalyam bharam raktagandhana levanam raktashva raktachatad bharatapa kishaubitam, and so on and so forth. In the last, we get over here adhidevata pratyadivata sahitagya adityagya namaha. So here also we use adhidevata and pratyadivata even for navagrahas. Next, we saw what is Kritika Nakshatra. It's Adhidevata, Pratyadivata. We saw what are the names of the Kritika, that is Amba, Dula, Varshayanti, Meghayanti, Chipunika, so on and so forth. Then we saw how Agni plays a vital role in Kritika Nakshatra and a story from the Purana. Then we understood the characteristics of a person who's born under Kritika Nakshatra. Next, we studied about Rohini Nakshatra. In Rohini Nakshatra, the Adhidevata is Brahma and Pratyadevata is Prajapati. We understood what the mantra of Rohini Nakshatra means. Then we saw the characteristics of Rohini Nakshatra. So this was a brief recap of what we've done in the last session. Today we'll be doing from Mrigashira Nakshatra. So let us start from our Mrigashira Nakshatra. And as I said, I'll be speeding up a little, so we won't go in very detail, but we'll go through it. So the Adhidevata of Mrigashira Nakshatra is Chandra and Pratyadevata is Soma. This is the mantra. So in this, we have, as I said yesterday, there are two parts of mantra, that is Puronavakya and Yajyam. So the Puranavakya of this is Somo Raja Mrigashirasena Aganna Shivan Priyamasya Dhaba Apyagyamano Bahudha Janeshu Retah Prajam Yajamane Dadhatu. This is the Puranavakya. This is when we invoke the Devata and praise him to come to our yajna. So, since this part of Nakshatra Sookta is in the Taittariya Brahmana Karmakanda, this part of the mantras is used in homas. We invite them to the homa. So, we say, Somo Raja Mrigashirashena Aganna. Aganna, this is the verb that we have to catch here. Aganna means Agachatu. So, may Somo Raja please come to our yajna. Then we say, on the vehicle, I welcome you. Mrigashira Shena Aganna. On the vehicle of Mrigashira, I welcome you. It is also said that Sarvesha Mangala Pradam. That means over here, you can see that in the second line, it says Shivam Nakshatram. The Shivam that we are referring to here is not the Shiva that has put Vibhuti, has a Trishula in his hand, has Ganesha and Kartikeya as his sons. Shivam Nakshatram here means Shivam, that means which is auspicious. So we say this is a very auspicious nakshatra. That is why we say Shivam Nakshatram. Next we have Apyayamanaha. We have Apyayamano Bahuda Janeshu. That means Apyayamanaha is one who pleases constantly and gives pleasure. And what kind of pleasure is he giving? Bahuda Janeshu. That means in a variety of ways. He gives us Shraddha, Medha, Yashaha, Prajna, Vidya, Buddhi, Shriya, Bala, etc. So this is the Ashirvada that has been given. Then we say Tasmai Te Soma Havisha Videma. Because I want all of this, because I want Shraddha, Medha, Yashaha, Prajna, I am invoking you and I am inviting you and I am offering to you. So this is just a small summary, we can say, of this mantra. You can see the red dot in the picture, that is the Mrigashira Nakshatra. Let us look at its characteristics. So, a person born under this nakshatra is curious, adaptable, and communicative. This was about Mrigashira Nakshatra. Next, let us go to the next nakshatra, that is Ardra Nakshatra. So, we just finished Mrigashira Nakshatra. Now, we have come to Ardra Nakshatra. So, in Ardra Nakshatra, the Adhidevata is Rudra and Pratyadevata is Ganesha. So in this we have Purana Vakya that says Ardraya Rudra Prathamana Eti. So with this Ardra Nakshatra Eti means to arrives at our yagna. Since we are doing the yagna, he arrives at our yagna. Prathamanaha, one who is famous and enormous and one who is spreading effulgence, and luster. So he is Prathamanaha. Then we see Rudraha here. The Rudra here again is not our Shiva who is holding a Trishula, whose son is Ganesha. The Rudra that we refer to here are the storm gods. They are also known as Maruta Ganas. So these people, they are very aggressive and are known for their violence. What do? They bring thunder, they bring lightning, they bring flood. So this Rudra is not Shiva, but these are the storm gods. So in this whole mantra, what we are doing is we are pleading the Rudras. We are saying that please do not harm us. Because they are known for their aggressiveness, violence, and they are known for holding golden weapons. We are saying please do not harm us. That is why we say Shrestho Devanam. You are the Shrestha one. Ella Devaril Nive Shrestharu. Shrestho Devanam. So may no himsa by you cause to all the praja. That is why we say Manaf Prajagum. We are the praja. Manha Prajagum. Ririsha. What is Ririsha? To cause harm. Ririshan Motavira. Please do not cause us any harm. Is in the whole shloka. That is what we are asking. So, for a little context, the Rudras that we have taken are the Marutaganas that I am referring to. They are the sons of Shiva and Prushni. So, we can go a little deeper into this sometime later, but this is the gist of it. Then, the characteristics of a person who's born under Ardra Nakshatra is they are very passionate, they are very expressive, and they're transformative. Next, let us look at Punarvasu Nakshatra. This is one of the famous nakshatras because this is the nakshatra of Lord Rama. So Punarvasu Nakshatra's Adidevata is Aditi and Pratyadevata is Brahaspati. In this mantra, many times we see Punarno Devyaditis Prunotu Punarvasu Nah Punareta Yajnam. So again and again when we say Punarno, that means again and again. We say Punah Punarvo. What do we say? Devya Aditihi. I invite Aditi Devi to my yajna Sprunotu. Sprunotu is made of two things. That is Spru plus Pritau. That is the dhatu. So sprunotu means give me pleasure and happiness. So let Aditi Devi come again and again and again and again to my yajna and give me pleasure and happiness. Now there must be a reason why I'm invoking her. So why am I invoking her? Because she is Anarva. That is why we say Devya Ditiranarva. So she is a Anarva. What does that mean? She is Anavadya. In Sanskrit, it is also known as Anavadya. What does Anavadya mean? Anavadya means flawless. She is flawless, she is perfect, no imperfections in her, and she is also very beautiful. That is what we say. So, how does she display her flawlessness? She says Vishvasya Bhartri. We say Vishvasya Bhartri. That means the one that who supports the entire creation. The next we say Jagatah Pratishtha. She is the very foundation of our entire world. So, in summary, we can say that you please take my offerings and please also distribute it to all the devatas. So why do we say this? Because all the devatas are the sons of Aditi. So all the when Aditi is the mother of all the devatas, when we offer anything to Aditi, Aditi gives it to all the devas. So when we worship Aditi, we in turn worship all the devatas. So this is just all of us might have seen our Dr. Rajkumar's movie of Hiranyakashipu. No, he says Adityara makkala atthasamanasuttu matta hakida sahasi. So this is the context that he uses over there, where Adityas are the sons of Aditi. So this was a small summary of what does Punarvasu Nakshatra mean. The Punarvasu Nakshatra, you can see the red dot over there in the constellation. Punarvasu Nakshatra is famously known as Rama's Nakshatra. That is why the characteristics of a person who is born under Punarvasu Nakshatra, he is very intelligent, calm, composed, and philosophical. And we can see all these characteristics in Rama. This was a small summary of what is Punarvasu Nakshatra. Next, we have the sixth nakshatra, that is the Pushya Nakshatra. Pushya Nakshatra, this is also known as Tishya Nakshatra. That is what has been written in the Vedas or said in the Vedas. The Adidevata and Pratyadevata is Brahaspati for this. This is also known as Tishya Nakshatra. So in the starting we say Brahaspati Prathaman Jayamanaha. So the one who is willing to take birth, willing to manifest himself. So what Brahaspati did is, this is very interesting. He chose Pushya Nakshatra at the time of his birth. That is why they say Tishyam Nakshatram Abhisambhabhuva. Whenever we are born, let's say I am born. So whenever I am born, they say, oh, this is Sriritwik Shastri. Sriritwik Shastri is assigned with Chitta Nakshatra. So I have been given that when I am born in Chitta Nakshatra. But what Brahaspati did was, he chose to be born during Chitta Nakshatra. So Brahaspati, a person who is also the Lord of Knowledge, he can take birth and can choose to take birth in the nakshatra of his choice or desire. That is a Brahaspati. That is why we call him Shrestho Devanam. Again, we say that he is the best of all gods. Then we say Prutanasu Jishnuhu. When we say Prutanasu means war. Jishnuhu means one who is always victorious. So the person who is always victorious in any war, he is also a Brahaspati. So at last, in the summary, we say that may Brahaspati give us security, safety from all directions. Why? Why are we asking Brahaspati? Because he is Pratanasu Jishtuhu. He is always victorious. He can never be defeated. This was a small summary of what is Pushya Nakshatra. Again, Pushya Nakshatra is the red dot that you can see in the constellation. The characteristics of a person who is born under Pushya Nakshatra is knowledgeable, responsible, and spiritual. Next, let us go to the seventh nakshatra, that is the Ashlesha nakshatra. Ashlesha nakshatra is also known as Ashresha. That is what has been given in the Vedas. Now, there's a very interesting part. We can see that the Adidevata and Pratyadidevata of Ashlesha nakshatra is Nagadevata. Why is it that if you see the constellation right here, it looks like a serpent, doesn't it? The constellation over here looks like a serpent. That is why Adidevata and Pratyadidevata are Nagadevatas. So throughout Puranas and all the epics, we have seen many sarpas like Vasuki, Adishesha, Takshaka, and all these kind of snakes. So in this mantra we say Idagum sarpebhyo havirastu jushtam. So what we mean in this is, that means whatever offerings we make to these Nagadevatas, jushtam, let it be of great pleasure to them. These Nagadevatas exist everywhere. It is given over here. Ye antariksham prithivim kshiyanti. What does that mean? Antariksham, that means intermediate space. Prithivim, on earth. Kshiyanti, this can also be said as Adivasanti. That means this is also Nagadevatas are present inside earth, on earth, and overall in space also. So this is where all the Nagadevatas are present. Next we say, Tena sarpaso havamagamishthaha. So whenever we are calling whenever we are calling Nagadevatas, we are not just telling, please Nagadevatas come. If I give you a small example, let's say your friend calls you to his home, ಹೇಳ್ತಾನೆ ಬಾರೋ ಅಂತ. ಆಗ you think that you have a lot of work to do, but you still go over there because he's called you. That is not what we are doing with Nagadev. What are we saying? Yes, please come to our yagna, but tena sarpa so havamagamishthaha. Let them come with extreme enthusiasm and energy to our yagna. That is why we invoke the Nagadevatas. Next, what do we do after invoking them? At the last time we say Madhumajjahomi. What does Madhumajjahomi mean? Sweet offerings, that sweet offerings that we are making to you, please accept it and relish it. So we say Madhumajjahomi. And when we say this, it is not just the physical aspect, it is also the spiritual aspect, where we are also praying to the Nagadevatas. This was the small summary of what is Ashlesha Nakshatra. You can see it is the constellation is shaped like a sarpa. That is why it's called. That is why it is. That is why the Adidevata and Pratyadidevata of this are Nagadevas. The characteristic features of a person who's born under this nakshatra is very intuitive, wise, and ambitious. Next, let us go to our eighth nakshatra, that is the Makha nakshatra. So in Makha nakshatra, this is also known as Magha nakshatra. This is also known as Makha nakshatra. The Adhidevata is the Pitru Devata and Pratyadidevata is Agni here. Let us understand what is Magha. Magha means that which is very bountiful or plenty. So this belongs to the Simha Rashi, as we all know. So this Magha Nakshatra, it has a lot of significance in Mahabharata, especially in the Bhishma Parva. It has played a big role in success, timing, war, challenges faced, etc. etc. This has played a huge role in Mahabharata. Next, when we see this, when we come to the concept of Pitara, upon a person's death, we do 10-day Dharmodaka. Then that particular jiva becomes a part of Pitru. It becomes a part of Pitrus. So to invoke that spirit or to invoke that Atma to the Yagna, we have to invoke them through the Magha Nakshatra. That is why we say Upahuta Pitaroge Maghasu. They are inviting them through the Makha Nakshatra. So now how do they come? What is the use? Now if we call the Pitrus today and they come 1 year later, because there's time difference. That is why we do only Shraddha once a year, because there is a time difference. So what we say is, you have to come, but how do you come? Manojavasas Sukritas Sukrityaha. Manojavasaha means speed. And what speed? Because the Pitrus have already left their body, they travel in the speed of the mind. So don't just come in the speed of the mind. And why do we invite them? Why do we invite them? That is because Sukritas Sukrityaha. Sukritaha means a virtuous individual. That is why we never forget our forefathers, because they have done Sukrutaha to this whole Dhara. They have done Sukrutaha and they have also inspired us to do Sukrutaha. So whenever we invoke the Pitrus, we must do it with utmost respect, utmost Shraddha and utmost Bhakti. This is a small summary of Magha Nakshatra where we are speaking about Pitrus and all of the Pitra Devatas. So a person who is born under Magha Nakshatra, their characteristics are of leadership and they're noble and they're dignified. This was a small summary of Magha Nakshatra. Next, let us go to our next nakshatra, that is ninth nakshatra, that is Purva Phalguni Nakshatra.
What is the speciality of Magha Nakshatra?
It is a
Second of the Maha Nakshatras we have covered now.
okay, yes, Gurugala.
And
This is
also, when you say Devata, Devebhya Swaha, Pitrubhya Swadhastu, Bhutebhyo Namaha. Don't you remember that?
yes, Gurugala.
Swadhabhihi Yajnam Prayatam Jushantam. That is that Swadha, Pitrubhya Swadhastu. That Swadha is coming here.
Oh,
Swaha. Instead of Swaha, you do Pitrubhya. When you do the Ahuti for Pitaraha, you say Swadha.
Swadha. Okay, so next nakshatra is Purva Phalguni Nakshatra. Purva Phalguni Nakshatra is also known as Pubba in Kannada. So it's Purva Phalguni Nakshatra. Its Adhidevata is Bhaga and its Pratyadidevata is Aryama. Let us see what is Purva Phalguni Nakshatra. So in this we say Gabam Patif Phalguni Nama Sitvam. What does this mean? When we say Gabam, it means two things. It can mean either cows, that is cattle, or knowledge. So you are the lord of cows and knowledge. That is what we are saying. Gabam Patihi Phalguni Nama Sitvam. That is what we are saying him. Next, in this whole mantra, what we do is we invoke Aryama or Varuna. Both of them we invoke. First, we invoke Varuna. That is why we say Varuna Mitra. Then, next, we say Aryama Raja. So, we are invoking both of them. Now, in this mantra, there are two interesting words. First one is Sanina, and second word is Sanitaram. So when we say Sanina, that means those who worship you. When we say Sanitaram, that you grant what they ask for. So when we chant this mantra, we say, you grant all the boons for your worshippers, O Aryama Devata. Then after that we say Vayam Jivaha Jivantam. So we are all still living because you are the Jiva Prada, the one who gives life. That is what we are saying to Aryama. We pray to Aryama for granting us a good life. We want to live well by all your grace. So next, that is why we say in the last, the visible and the invisible, the seen and the unseen world is all controlled by you, is what we say in this mantra. That is why we say Sanjita. Sanjita is basically control. That is why Aryama controls both visible and the invisible world. So this is a very small summary of what is Pubba or Purva Phalguni Nakshatra. The red dot in the constellation again is the Purva Phalguni Nakshatra. The person who is born under this nakshatra is said to be very creative and wise. Next, let us go to the 10th nakshatra, that is Uttara Phalguni Nakshatra. I correct myself. It is Uttara Phalguni and Purva Phalguni. Now let us talk about Uttara Phalguni Nakshatra. In this, the Adhidevata is Argyama and Pratyari Devata is Bhaga. So when we see this mantra, we say Shrestho Devanam. As we have said in the past, again we say Devanam Shrestha. That means, Hey Bhaga, O Bhaga, you are the most exalted among all the gods. Now, when you ask who is Bhaga, we can say that the description of Bhaga and who is Bhaga is also given in Bhagya Sukta. But anyone who possesses the 6 gunas are called Shad gunas, that are Aishwarya, Virya, and Vairagya, Vijnana, Shrihi, Yashassu, he is a Bhaga. Now, the ironic part is these are the 6 guna, that is Shad gunas. The exact opposite of this is the Arishad Varga, that is Kama, Krodha, Lobha, Moha, Mada, Matsarya. So the person who does not have the Arishad Vargas and the person who possesses all the Shad Gunas, that are the good Gunas, he is said to be a Bhaga. That is why in this whole mantra we say you reside in the Uttara Phalguni Nakshatra and all your 6 qualities, all the 6 Shad Gunas are visible in the constellation of Uttara Phalguni, and they are very lustrous and they are very shiny. That is why we pray to Bhaga to be like him. We want to be like you. We want to have Aishwarya, we want to have Virya, we want to have Vairagya, we want to have Vijnana, Shrihi, Yashassu, so on and so forth. That is why when we pray to Bhaga for wealth and Virya, that let please grant me wealth and Virya, we also say let it continue through my progeny. That let it just not end with me. Let it continue through my progeny and let it become imperishable. That is why in the last we say Bhagovadata. That means the one who gives. But the second part is more interesting. That says Bhaga it pradata. What does pradata mean? So prakrishana plus data. That is what prakrishane plus data. That gives us pradata. So the one who gives in abundance is pradata. So to give a small example.
Prakarshena. Prakarshena means ಹೆಚ್ಚಾಗಿ.
Okay, okay. Yes, Guru. Prakarshena data. So the person who gives in abundance, ಹೆಚ್ಚಾಗಿ ಯಾರು ಕೊಡ್ತಾರೋ, he is known as pradata. So for
Same
a
thing.
small,
Wherever pra comes, prakasha, kash for kashi. Kash means self-effulgent. Prakasha means prakarshena means ultimate. Ultimate prakasha. Prakarshena. Here, pradata. Go ahead.
okay, okay. So just to understand in common terms, in Hindi they are saying that जब भगवान देता है तो चप्पर फाड़ के देता है. So we can just relate this to it, saying that he is pradata, he gives in abundance. So that is why when we pray to him, we get dhana, dhanya, sampattu, kanaka, and valuable things. So this is a very small summary of Uttara Phalguni Nakshatra. The red dot again over here is the Uttara Phalguni Nakshatra. The person who is born under this, the characteristics are he's very practical, organized, and goal oriented. Next comes our Hasta Nakshatra. So this nakshatra is special because this nakshatra is our Gurugalur Nakshatra. Am I correct, Gurugale?
Yes.
Yes, this is our Gurugalur Nakshatra. So the Adhidevata is Surya and Pratyati Devata is Savitri or Savitri. So in this we say the Pratyati Devata, as we said, was Savitri or Savituhu. So every day when we chant the Gayatri mantra, that is the Savitra Gayatri mantra. As Gurugalu has taught us, Gayatri is just a meter. The one that we are doing is Savitra Gayatri mantra. So that is Tat Savitur Varenyam. That Savituhu. What does Savituhu mean? So Savituhu is the one that nourishes. So he who nourishes through the rays and puts jiva into the food grains and living beings, that is Savituhu. So when we chant the Hasta Nakshatra mantra, we ask for nourishment, health, wealth, fitness, longevity, and etc. Next, here we say Ayatu Deva Savituhu. That means, may Savituhu Deva come to my yajna. And how shall he come to my yajna? By Hiranyagena Suvratarathena. That means please come on your golden chariot. Hiranya means golden. Then Rathena is the chariot. Suvrata Rathena. And how are you coming? Suvrata means fast. So you're coming at a very fast pace. Then he leads the Hasta Nakshatra towards us. That is why we say Vahana Hastagum. That is Vahana Hastagum. That is, he is leading the Hasta Nakshatra towards us. So one quality of Hasta Nakshatra is that it bestows wealth as desired by us. That is why in the last we say Papurim. What does Papurim mean? There are Papurim means whatever is desired and needed. There are sometimes there are sometimes in human beings there are desires that are not needed. There are sometimes the desires are not the desires are needed, but we do not give focus to them. So what Hasta Nakshatra does is whatever is desired and whatever is needed is granted. That is why you say Papurim Punyamacha. So the ultimate is Punya. That is what we want to grant. And why is it called Hasta Nakshatra? Is the lines that we see in our palms, as you can see in the picture, they match with the shape of the constellation. So again, the red dot you see over here is the Hasta Nakshatra, and this matches the lines of our hands. That is why it's called Hasta. Hasta means our hand or palm. That is why we say this is Hasta Nakshatra. This is a small summary of Hasta Nakshatra and the characteristics of a person who's born under Hasta Nakshatra. They are very analytical, very detail oriented, and intelligent. So this was a small summary of Hasta Nakshatra. Next, go to the 12th Nakshatra, that is the Chitta Nakshatra. In the Chitta Nakshatra, this is also called as Chitra. That is what is given in the Vedas. So it is Chitta or Chitra Nakshatra. The Adhidevata for this is Vishwakarma and Pratyadi Devata is Indra. So in this mantra, we see in this nakshatra, we refer to the Chitra Devi, who is Subhagum Sasayuvatigum Rochamanam. So when we say Sasam Yuvatigum, she is a Yuvati. That means she is a Yuvati who is Rochamanam, who is very beautiful, who is very lustrous. Then in this we see that Twashta Nakshatra Mabheda Chitram. Twashta, he is a Devata. What this Devata does is he approaches Chitra and asks for union for the Loka Kalyana. So as we saw that Soma is also the husband of Chitra Devi, Twashta is also the husband of Chitra Devi. As we saw that Soma married all the nakshatras, so Soma is also the husband of Chitra, but Twashta is also the husband of Chitra for Loka Kalyana. So that is why we invoke both of them to our yajna. Next we say Rupani Pigumshan. We say that Rupani Pigumshan Bhuvanani Vishwa. That means you are capable of creating everything in the entire universe. That is what we are saying here. Now, to understand the importance of Chitra Devi and Twashta, what we do is in all marriages, there is a ritual called Garbhadana Homa. So in this, they invoke Twashta and Chitra Devi to bless the couple for having long living, good looking, wise, powerful children. That is why these both bless both of them, and this can happen because of the anugraha of Chitra Devi or the Chitta Nakshatra. So the second part of this mantra, that is the Yajya mantra, when we invoke Chitra Devi and Twashta, we just don't invoke them physically. We also invoke them into our minds, that please come into our minds and give us Sumana Saha. Sumana Saha is basically a mind that is the mind of the god. That means the mind of a Devata. Devata is Su is something good. Manaha is our mana. So humans are also born with Sumanaha, but as we tend to grow up, it gets a little corrupted and something like that. But when you become the Deva and you have the mind of the Deva, you get elevated. So what we are asking here is, Oh Chitra Devi, please elevate me. This was a small summary of what is Chitta Nakshatra. So the characteristics of a person who is born under this nakshatra: very artistic, stylish, and diplomatic. Next nakshatra that we see here is Swati Nakshatra. So the Swati Nakshatra is also called as Nishya. Swati Nakshatra is also called as Nishya. This is what is given in the Veda. So the Adhidevata is Vayu and Pratyadi Devata is Hanumanta. It is Nishtya Nakshatra. So if we see in the mantra, we say Vayur Nakshatra in the starting. That means this nakshatra that belongs to Vayu. And when we say Nishtya, we are again referring to Swati Nakshatra. Then we say abhyeti, that means abhimukha, that means we are invoked right in front of us. What kind of vayu are we inviting? We are inviting tigma shrungaha. What does that mean? Tigma means that is very sharp or shiny. Shrunga means horn. So here what we've done is we are saying that Vayu is coming like a Vrishabha. That is a bull. Vayu is coming like a Vrishabha with sharp and shiny horns, who's roaring and who's aggressive. This is metaphorically saying that Vayu is coming with sharp and extraordinary luster. Then Vrishabha is also the one who fulfills all our desires. Then we say Sumirayan, that means Samyak Prerayan, that is, you are a good source of inspiration to all of us.
Samiran.
Sorry, Samirayan, not Sumerian, it's Samirayan, that means Samyak Prerayan. So he's a good inspiration to all of us. Next we say Dvesha Gumsi, that is Dvesha Gumsi.
What is the word Matarishwa there?
Matarishva, Guruvele, I couldn't
Agni.
find.
Agni, one of the Agnis.
Okay.
Ah.
So that is Matarish. Okay, got it, Guruvila. Then we again here we ask that everything that brings us hate or hardship or
Matarishwa is Marutalva. Vayu adu, Vayu.
okay,
Matarishwa, Vayu. Ah.
okay, got it, Guruvila.
Hanumanta. Ah.
So next we say Dvesha Gumsi Nudata Maratihi. So everything that brings us hate or hardship may go away is what we are praying to this. So in summary, we can say that we are praying for enormous health, wealth, and all these sorts of things, and not just to me, but for the entire world. So that is why you say Dvaritani Vishwa.
Just for Samskrita sake,
Ha.
apadveshagamsi nudata maratihi, there is a apanudatam.
Okay.
Apanudatam is the word. Apadveshagamsi nudatam should be read as dveshagamsi apanudatam aratihi. Apanudatam means just let all dvesha, anything that you don't like, let it go away.
Okay. Ha.
And we'll talk about Swati Nakshatra and Mahatva of that after that.
Okay. So this was a small summary of Swati Nakshatra, and the person who's born with Swati Nakshatra is independent and sociable. So today we have covered till here, that is the
What
13th
is Swati Nakshatra's Mahatva?
Mahanakshatra.
It is also a Mahanakshatra.
Yes, Guru.
Dinesh, what is the speciality of a Mahanakshatra?
ಮುಹೂರ್ತ ನೋಡ್ಬೇಕಾಗಿಲ್ಲ.
Others say that again. ಇನ್ನೊಂದ್ಸಲಿ ಹೇಳಿ.
ಮುಹೂರ್ತ ನೋಡ್ಬೇಕಾಗಿರಲ್ಲ.
Those who marry a girl with Swati, like some people, or those who marry a guy who has Swati Nakshatra, for the wedding, you don't have to really worry about the muhurta. Any muhurta is good for the Mahanakshatra.
Okay. Yes, Guru.
And they have advanced samskaras for moving ahead with sakshatkara. Swati, Vayu is a very fast mover. When you offer oblations and ahuti to Agni, who takes the subtle portion of the ahuti to the devatas? Vayu.
Vayu.
So Vayu is considered to be Shigragami.
Guru.
Therefore, anything that you want, he will get it quickly. Ashu.
Okay.
So this is for quick benefits, provided you have the corresponding Shraddha Bhakti and then the corresponding Punya. The Matarishwa Samirayan. He will give you the right thoughts in your mind. Or whatever, what is that called? Spurana. Spurana means what? Thoughts in the mind. Correct thoughts, let it come in the mind. Can you chant the this is a Mahanakshatra. Can you chant the Savitri Gayatri mantra? Savitri Gayatri mantra. Tatsavitur.
Guru. Om Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhikyo Gyo Nah Prachodayat.
Prachodayat. That is called Spurana.
Okay, okay. Ha, Gurugalre.
That is what is called irayanti. Some irayanti. Samirayan. Bhuvana Matarishva. Not only that. What is the meaning of Surya? Tushtu irayati iti Suryaha. Irayati
Okay.
means he provides the thought processes that runs in the mind, buddhi, etc.
Okay, okay, okay. Ha, ha,
Here,
got it.
Surya is not the one that is there in the Milky Way.
Ha, ha, got it, Gurugalre.
It's Brahma. Surya is called, the Surya is the name given to Brahma here. Some Irayan Bhavana, Matarishva here also is Brahma only. So all Dveshagamsi Apanudatam. Apanudatam means what? Apanudana means throw away. Let Vayu listen to me. Are you, hello, Mr. Vayu, are you listening to me? He is being asked.
Yeah.
Srinoto. Understood,
Okay,
no?
okay. Got it, Gurugalre.
Then Tan Nakshatram Bhuri. Bhuri means what? Bhuri means, have you gone to a wedding where they do bhuma? Bhuma uta.
Puri Bhojana.
Puri bhojana means, uh, 64 layers of food. 64 levels of food.
Okay, okay, okay.
64
Puri.
course.
Bhuri da means what? Give me everything more and more and more. How much more can you have? You have to get Brahma only. You have to become Brahma. Okay? So, Tannakshatram Bhurida Astu. Bhurida Astu means let me become Brahma. Am Brahmasmi. Let that be there. That is what is the Bhurida Astu Mahyam. Mahyam means to me. Tanno Devaso Anujanantu Kamam. Then, of course, Kamam Anujanantu. Kamam means not desire. Kamaha does not mean desire. Kamaha is desire.
Okay, okay.
Kamaha is object of desire.
Okay, okay. Ha, Gurugalre.
So, I'll ask you a question. I think you have finished the Nakshatra Sookta for today, no?
Yes, Gurugalre. Just had that yesterday's question answers. That's all.
Yeah. So, one of them is, who wants desires? Nobody wants to have desires.
Ha.
They want the object of desire.
Okay, ha, Gurugalre.
You want desires, that means there is something gap in your what you have.
Ha, ha. Yes, Gurugalre. So
Then
they.
you have to go for bhiksha, you have to go for you have to be a robber because you don't have something.
So they want kamaha, not kamaha.
Kamaha beko. Kamaha bhurida astu tanno devaso anujananto. That means let the object of my desire come to me, not desires. Let the
Okay.
desires be fulfilled and go away.
Got it, Gurugalre.
Desires are not courted. Courted means they don't go after desires. Is it not? Do you want to have desires left? Nobody wants desires. They want the object of desires. Correct? So everybody, even a krimikita, does not want desires. Yes or no? It is a special day because that kind of desire is being burnt by jnanam, and that is called kama dahanam.
Okay, okay. Ha, ha, ha.
Kama dahanam is called Holika Habba, Holika Dahanam.
Okay, okay. Ha, Gurugalre.
So Holi is really Akamahatasya. Where is that Akamahatasya going to come in the Taittiriya Upanishad Brahmanandavalli?
Ha, ha.
Srotriyasya cha Akamahatasya. 21, 22 times it comes.
Ha, 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 Gurugalre.
Today we have to celebrate Akamahatatva.
Okay, okay.
Kama is desire. Kamahata means the person who is killed by desire.
Okay, okay, okay.
Kamena hataha kamahataha.
Okay, ha, ha.
Akamahataha is like shining, Surya tara shine ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇರೋ Ritwik Shastri is akamahataha. He is not,
Ha,
he is not captured and swarmed by desires. He is risen above desires. That is why you are able to smile and be happy. Prajwala. Prajwal is the name for Sriritwik Shastri, Nagaraj Shastri. So, Shrotriyasya cha akamahatasya means what? First thing is that you are not going to be captured and swallowed by kama and hijacked by kama. He has risen over kama and he is not hijacked by kama. Therefore, today is Kamadahana Habba, Holika Habba. Sriritwik Shastry has completed with Swati Nakshatra, and it's a very beautiful explanation that he has given. I was tempted to give the end point of this so that today, happy Holi Shubhashayagalu, Kamadahana Shubhashayagalu.
ಎಸ್ ಧನ್ಯವಾದ ಗುರುಗಳೇ.
ಹ್ಯಾಪಿ ಹೋಳಿ ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ.
ಎಲ್ಲರೂವೆ ಅಕಾಮಹತರಾಗ್ಲಿ ಅಂತ ಪ್ರಾರ್ಥನೆ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಶ್ರೀರಿತ್ವಿಕ್ ಶಾಸ್ತ್ರಿಗೆ ಅತ್ಯಂತ ಭೂರಿ ಆಶೀರ್ವಾದಗಳನ್ನು ಮಾಡ್ತಾ 2ನೇ ಎಪಿಸೋಡ್ ಆಫ್ ನಕ್ಷತ್ರ ಸೂಕ್ತ ವ್ಯಾಖ್ಯಾನವನ್ನ ಇಲ್ಲಿಗೆ ಸಮಾಪ್ತಿ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾನೆ.
ಎಲ್ರಿಗೂ ನಮಸ್ಕಾರ. ಪ್ರಪ್ರಥಮವಾಗಿ ಒಂದು ಡಿಸ್ಕ್ಲೇಮರ್. ಸೊ all this what is presented and whatever has been researched is totally his work. Unfortunately, I could not spend even a single moment with him, which I wanted to do. ಸೊ ಏನಾದ್ರು ಸಣ್ಣ ಪುಟ್ಟ ತಪ್ಪುಗಳಿದ್ರೆ ಉಚ್ಚಾರಣೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಸಂಸ್ಕೃತದಲ್ಲಿ ದಯವಿಟ್ಟು ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ದೊಡ್ಡವರು ಹೊಟ್ಟೆಗೆ ಹಾಕೋಬೇಕು, ಚಿಕ್ಕ ಹುಡುಗ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾನೆ ಅಂತ. ಒನ್ ಸ್ಮಾಲ್ ರಿಕ್ವೆಸ್ಟ್ ಫ್ರಮ್ ಮೈ ಸೈಡ್. ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಏನಿದೆ ಅಟ್ಲೀಸ್ಟ್ ಫಾರ್ ಟುಮಾರೋ ಸೆಷನ್ ಆನ್ ದ ಸಂಸ್ಕೃತ, ಬಟ್ ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಹಿ ಹಸ್ ನಾಟ್ ಯೆಟ್ ಸ್ಟಡಿಡ್ ಸಂಸ್ಕೃತ ಅಫಿಷಿಯಲಿ. ಇನ್ ಮೇಲಿಂದ he will start studying Sanskrit. So whatever he could gather and garner from the research he has done on his own, he has done it. So ದಯವಿಟ್ಟು ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ದೊಡ್ಡವರು ಸಣ್ಣ ಪುಟ್ಟ ಮಿಸ್ಟೇಕ್ ಇದೆ ಕ್ಷಮಿಸಬೇಕು. Otherwise, I think he has done it. Being into the profession of public speaking and communications, I think he has done it in the right way. Gurugale, all your blessings, sir. It is, as I said, without any effort, he has done everything. So it is all Sri Gurubhyo Namaha, Guru Paramparabhyo Namaha. It's your effort, which is your blessings is taking him forward, sir. Thank you so much. I had a question, so maybe we can take it in the next episode since the time is up. If I may ask now, is it okay, sir? Or, so the question was, he mentioned in the lot of in each and every nakshatra the characteristics of a person born in the nakshatra, which we know. But otherly, how does a nakshatra decide the characteristics of the person as per our own calculation? Adu ondu tilkobeku sir.
ಜ್ಯೋತಿಷ್ ಶಾಸ್ತ್ರದಲ್ಲಿ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಜನ್ಮ ಅಂತ ಇರುತ್ತಲ್ಲ, ಅದು ಆಕ್ಸಿಡೆಂಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲ. It is not by chance. It is not arbitrary. It is defined. It is designed. ನಿಮಗೆ ಯಾವ ಪುಣ್ಯಗಳಿಂದ ಯಾವ ಪಾಪಗಳಿಂದ ಮಿಶ್ರಣ, ಒಂದು 60% ಪುಣ್ಯ 40% ಪಾಪ, ಅಥವಾ ನಮ್ಮ ಋತ್ವಿಕ್ ಅಂತವ್ರಿಗೆ 80% ಪುಣ್ಯ 20% ಪಾಪ, ಅಂಥ ಪುಣ್ಯ ಪಾಪಗಳದ್ದು ಒಂದು ಬಂಡಲ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಈಶ್ವರ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾನೆ, ಪ್ರಾರಬ್ಧ ಅಂತ ಒಂದು ಬಂಡಲ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಕೊಡ್ತಾನೆ. ಕೊಟ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ನೀನು ತಗೊಂಡು ಹೋಗಿ ನೀನು ಜನ್ಮವನ್ನ ಪಡಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ಮೇಲೆ ಎಲ್ಲ ಡಿಸೈನ್ಡ್. ಯಾರ ಮನೇಲಿ ಹುಟ್ಟಬೇಕು, ಯಾವ ಯೋನಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಅವನು ಪಡಿಬೇಕು, ಎಂತಹ ಸಂಸ್ಕಾರಗಳುಳ್ಳ ಸತ್ಸಂಸ್ಕಾರಗಳುಳ್ಳ ಮಾತಾಪಿತೃಗಳಿಗೆ ಜನನ ಆಗ್ಬೇಕು ಅನ್ನೋದು ತೀರ್ಮಾನ ಆಗಿದೆ. ಆದ್ದರಿಂದ ನಮ್ಮ ಎಫರ್ಟ್ ಅಂತ ಏನ್ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರು ಕೂಡ ಅಹಂ ಬೀಜ ಪ್ರದಃ ಪಿತಾ, ಅವನೇ ಡಿಸೈಡ್ ಮಾಡೋದು ಅಂತ ಭಗವದ್ಗೀತೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಹೇಳಿದೆ. ಆದ್ರಿಂದ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಜ್ಯೋತಿಷ್ಯದಿಂದ ಅದನ್ನ ಊಹೆ ಮಾಡಬಹುದು. ಊಹೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಇಂತಹ ನಕ್ಷತ್ರದಲ್ಲಿ ಹುಟ್ಟಿದವನಿಗೆ ಇಂತಹ ನ್ಯಾಚುರಲ್ ಟೆಂಡೆನ್ಸೀಸ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ ಹುಟ್ಟಿದಾಗ. ಆ ಟೆಂಡೆನ್ಸೀಸು ಅಭಿಭವ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಮುಚ್ಚೋಗ್ಬೋದು. ಅವನು ಹುಟ್ಟಿದ ಮೇಲೆ ಅವನ ಪರಿಸರ, ಅವನ ಇಷ್ಟ ಅನಿಷ್ಟ, ಪಕ್ಕದ ಮನೆ ರೌಡಿಗಳು ಅದೆಲ್ಲ ನೋಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ಹೀ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಆಕ್ಚುಲಿ ಎಲ್ ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೂ ಹೋಗ್ಬೋದು ಅವನು. ಆದ್ರೆ ಹುಟ್ಟೋವಾಗ ಅವನಿಗೆ ಟೆಂಡೆನ್ಸೀಸ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ ಅನ್ನೋದು ಜ್ಯೋತಿಷ್ ಶಾಸ್ತ್ರದಿಂದ ತೀರ್ಮಾನ ಆಗಿದೆ. ಜ್ಯೋತಿಷ್ ಶಾಸ್ತ್ರ ಅನ್ನೋದು ವೇದದಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ಶಾಸ್ತ್ರ. ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ನಾಟ್ ದಟ್ ಎವ್ರಿಬಡಿ ಹೂ ಇಸ್ ಬಾರ್ನ್ ಇನ್ ದಟ್ ನಕ್ಷತ್ರ until he dies will be intelligent, sociable, ಹಂಗೆಲ್ಲ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಅವನಿಗೆ ಆ ಟೆಂಡೆನ್ಸೀಸ್ ಜೋರಾಗಿದೆ ಹುಟ್ಟುವಾಗ. ಅದನ್ನ ಮನೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ನಿಮ್ ತರ ಅದನ್ನ ನೀವು ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ ಬೆಳೆಸಿದ್ರೆ ಅದು ಬೇಗ ಬೆಳೆಯುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ.
How you nurture the innate qualities.
ಹೌದು, innate qualities. ಇವಾಗ ಬಾನ್ಸಾಯ್ ತರ.
ಸರಿ ಸರ್.
ಜ್ಯೋತಿಷ್ ಶಾಸ್ತ್ರ ಅನ್ನೋದನ್ನ ಇವತ್ತಿಗೂ ಫಾಲೋ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ.
ಖಂಡಿತ ಡೆಫಿನೆಟ್ಲಿ.
ಇಂತಹ ನಕ್ಷತ್ರದಲ್ಲಿ ಹುಟ್ಟಿದವನಿಗೆ ಇಂತಹ ಇನ್ನೇಟ್ ಟೆಂಡೆನ್ಸೀಸ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಹೋಗ್ ಕಳೆದು ಹೋಗಿರ್ಬೋದು, ಅವ್ನು 25 ವರ್ಷ ಆಗೋ ಹೊತ್ತಿಗೆ ಅವನಿಗೆ ಬೇರೆ ಏನೋ ಇರ್ಬೋದು.
Right.
ಆದ್ರೆ ಅವನಿಗೆ ಹುಟ್ಟಿದಾಗ ಟೆಂಡೆನ್ಸೀಸ್ ಇದೆ. ಅದನ್ನ ನಾವು ಸರಿಯಾಗಿ ಸರಿಯಾಗಿ ನೀರು ಗೊಬ್ಬರ ಹಾಕ್ತಾ ಬಂದ್ರೆ ಮನೆಯಲ್ಲಿ, ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಸಂಸ್ಕಾರಗಳಿಗೆ ಸರಿಯಾಗಿ ಅವಕಾಶಗಳನ್ನು ಮಾಡಿಕೊಟ್ರೆ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ ಬೆಳೆಯುತ್ತೆ, ಸತ್ಪ್ರಜೆ ಆಗ್ತಾನೆ, ಸಾಕ್ಷಾತ್ಕಾರಕ್ಕೆ ಅವನು ಹೋಗ್ತಾನೆ.
Sure, sir. And another follow-up question would be, and again we can answer it tomorrow if possible, that the same person in the Western science, I'm also Chitta Nakshatra Tula Rashi, just like Ritwik. We have a similar characteristic and it matches. Match. But in the Western science, it's Leo, and they say Sauramana, as you see. And those characteristics are a little different. So how do we see this between our Vedic sciences and the Western astrology, if you call it, or their own science, whatever it is?
ನಮ್ಮ ವೆಸ್ಟರ್ನ್ ಸೈನ್ಸ್ನವ್ರಿಗೆ ಪ್ರಮಾಣ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ವೇದ ಅನ್ನುವಂಥದ್ದು ಪ್ರಮಾಣ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಅದು ಯಾವತ್ತೂ ಬಾಧೆ ಆಗೋಲ್ಲ. ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ಎಷ್ಟೋ 10,000 ಲಕ್ಷ ವರ್ಷಗಳಿಂದ ನೀವು ಸೃಷ್ಟಿ ಆದಾಗ್ಲಿಂದ ವೇದಗಳು ಬಂದಿದೆ. ಅವನ್ ಲಿಯೋ ಅಂತ ಕಂಡಿಡ್ದವನ್ ಎಷ್ಟೋ BC-ನೋ ಎಷ್ಟೋ ಇದ್ರಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದವನ್. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಆಧಾರ ಏನು ಹುಡುಕೊಂಡು ಹೋದ್ರೆ ಕೊನೆಗೆ ಇದರ ವೇದಕ್ಕೆ ಬರಬೇಕು, ಇಲ್ಲ ಅವನ ಪಾಡಿಗೆ ಅವನ್ನೆಲ್ಲೋ ಹೇಳ್ಕೊಂಡಿರ್ಬೇಕು. ಆದ್ರೆ ವೇದ ಅನ್ನುವಂಥದ್ದು ಪ್ರಧಾನ ಪ್ರಮಾಣ ಆದ್ರಿಂದ ನಾವು ವೇದವನ್ನು ಫಾಲೋ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ನಾವು ಸನಾತನ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋದು. ನಾವು ಸನಾತನಿಗಳು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ನಾವು ಅದು ವೇದವನ್ನ ಫಾಲೋ ಮಾಡೋರು.
Okay. But the characteristics wise, it will be the same, sir, or different, or ಹೇಗೆ ಅದು?
ಬೇರೆ ಇರ್ಬೋದು, ಡಿಫ್ರೆಂಟ್ ಇರ್ಬೋದು. ಅವ್ರು ಬೇರೆ ಕೆಲವು ಸಲ ಬೇರೆ ಹೇಳುತ್ತದು. ಡೇಟ್ ಪ್ರಕಾರ ನಾವು ಹೋಗೋದೇ ಇಲ್ವಲ್ಲ.
ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್. ನಾವು
ಸೌರಮಾನ ಚಾಂದ್ರಮಾನ ಅಂತ 2 ಜ್ಯೋತಿಷ್ಯ. ಇದು ಚಾಂದ್ರಮಾನದ ಪ್ರಕಾರ ಬರೋದು. ಚಾಂದ್ರಮಾನದ ಪ್ರಕಾರ ಅವನಿಗೆ ದಿವಸಕ್ಕೆ ತಿಂಗಳಿಗೆ 27 ದಿವಸ, ಅದೆಲ್ಲ ಪೂರ್ಣಿಮೆ, ಅಮಾವಾಸ್ಯೆ ಅದೆಲ್ಲ ಇಟ್ಕೊಂಡು ನಾವು ತಿಥಿ ಅಂತ ನಾವು ತೀರ್ಮಾನ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಅದು ಚಾಂದ್ರಮಾನವೇ. ಸೌರಮಾನದಲ್ಲಿ ತಿಥಿ ಅಂತಿಲ್ಲ. ಅದನ್ನ ನಾವು ಫಾಲೋ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. ಕೆಲವರು ಸೌರಮಾನ ಫಾಲೋ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ, ಇನ್ ಕೆಲವರು ಫಾರಿನ್ ಫಾಲೋ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ನಾವು ಫಾಲೋ ಮಾಡೋದು ಅಷ್ಟೇ.
ವೆರಿ ಪ್ರಾಕ್ಟಿಕಲ್ ಆನ್ಸರ್. ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಯು ಸರ್.
ಯಾಕೆ ಅದನ್ನ ಫಾಲೋ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಆಧಾರ ಇದೆ.
ಸರಿ.
Curious question. What is the difference in the Dwadash Adityas? Aren't they just Adityas? And so does that mean all of them have Surya's qualities? That's one question. Second question is one of those nakshatras, the Vayu, Swati, I think, right? Swati had Upadevata Pratyadi Devata as Hanumanta. Hanumanta comes in only in Treta Yuga, but these nakshatras have come in much before that.
ಒಳ್ಳೆ ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆ ತೆಗೆದಿದ್ದೀರಾ. ಪ್ರತಿ ಯುಗದಲ್ಲೂ ಪ್ರತಿ ಸೃಷ್ಟಿಯಲ್ಲೂ ಒಬ್ಬ ಹನುಮಂತ ಬರ್ತಿರ್ತಾನೆ, ಪ್ರತಿ ಯುಗದಲ್ಲೂ ಒಬ್ಬ ವ್ಯಾಸ ಬರ್ತಾ ಇರ್ತಾನೆ, ಪ್ರತಿ ಯುಗದಲ್ಲೂ ಒಬ್ಬ ಇಂದ್ರ. ಇಂದ್ರ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್ ನಾಟ್ ದಿ ನಾಮಕರಣ ಆಫ್ ದ ಪರ್ಸನ್. ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ಹೆಡ್ ಆಫ್ ಆರ್ಟಿಫಿಷಿಯಲ್ ಇಂಟೆಲಿಜೆನ್ಸ್ ಲ್ಯಾಬ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಅವನ ಹೆಸರ ಅದು. ಚೀಫ್ ಎಕ್ಸಿಕ್ಯೂಟಿವ್ ಆಫೀಸರ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಅವನ ಹೆಸರ
ಇಲ್ಲ.
ಕಮಾಂಡರ್ ಇನ್ ಚೀಫ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಹೆಸರ ಅಪಾಂತರತಮ ನಾಮ ಋಷಿ ಅಂತ ಅವನ ಹೆಸರು. ಅವನ ಅಪ್ಪ ಅಮ್ಮ ಹೆಸರಿಟ್ಟಿದ್ದ ಅಪಾಂತರತಮಃ ಅಂತ. ವ್ಯಾಸತ್ವೇನ ಸಂಬಭೂವ, ಅವನ್ ವ್ಯಾಸನಾದ ಯಾವುದೋ ಒಂದು ಕಲ್ಪದಲ್ಲಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳುತ್ತೆ ಪುರಾಣಗಳು. ಮುಂದೆ ಸೃಷ್ಟಿ ಆಗತ್ತಲ್ಲ ಆದರ್ಶ, ಹನುಮಂತ ಇಸ್ ವೈಟಿಂಗ್ ಟು ಬಿಕಮ್ ಹಿರಣ್ಯಗರ್ಭ. ಬ್ರಹ್ಮ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. ಆದ್ರಿಂದ ಹಿರಣ್ಯಗರ್ಭ ಅಂತ ಅನ್ನೋದು ಒಂದು ಪೊಸಿಷನ್. ಹಾಗೆ ಪ್ರತಿ ಯುಗದಲ್ಲೂ ಒಬ್ಬ ಬರ್ತಿರ್ತಾನೆ.
Okay, so this is referring to that entity in every yuga anta.
ಅದು ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಹೋದ್ ಯುಗದಲ್ಲೂ ಇತ್ತು, ಮತ್ತೆ ಸತ್ಯಯುಗ, ತ್ರೇತಾಯುಗ, ದ್ವಾಪರ ಯುಗ ಅದೆಲ್ಲ ಮತ್ತೆ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. ಬಿಗ್ ಬ್ಯಾಂಗು ಮತ್ತೆ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಬಿಗ್ ಬ್ಯಾಂಗ್ ಅಂತ ನಾವು ಒಪ್ಪಲ್ಲ.
ಗೊತ್ತಾಯ್ತು.
ಅದೇ ದೇವತೆಗಳು ಈ ಈಶ್ವರ ಅವನ ವಿಭೂತಿ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಅವನ ಐಶ್ವರ್ಯ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ನಲ್ಲ ಭಗಹ ಅಂತ. ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ಎಲ್ಲಾ ಕ್ವಾಲಿಟೀಸ್ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಒಂದ್ ಚಿಕ್ಕ ಕ್ವಾಲಿಟೀಸ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಈಗ ಮಾರೆಮ್ಮ ಅಂತ ಮಾಡಲ್ವೇನ್ರಿ ನಮ್ ರೋಡಲ್ಲಿ 18 ಮೈನ್ ನಲ್ಲಿ? ಇದು ಫಲಗಳನ್ನು ಕೊಡುತ್ತೆ ಅದು ಮಾರಮ್ಮ.
ಹೌದು, ದಟ್ಸ್ ಟ್ರೂ.
ಮಾರಮ್ಮನೂ ಕೂಡ ಆ ಈಶ್ವರನ ಅಂಶ. ಹಾಗೇನೆ ಇವಾಗ ಸೂರ್ಯ, ಚಂದ್ರ, ಆದಿತ್ಯ ಇತ್ಯಾದಿಗಳೆಲ್ಲ ಇದಾರಲ್ಲ, ಅವರೆಲ್ಲರೂ ಸಬಾರ್ಡಿನೇಟ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಬ್ರಹ್ಮ, ಚತುರ್ಮುಖ ಬ್ರಹ್ಮ. ನೀವೆಲ್ಲ ಈ ಕೆಲಸಗಳ ಯಮ ಇದಾನಲ್ಲಪ್ಪ, ಯಮ ಅನ್ನುವಂತಹದ್ದು ಹೆಸರಲ್ಲ. ಯಮ ಇಸ್ ಎ ಪೋಸ್ಟ್, ಧರ್ಮರಾಜ ಅಂತ. ಆ ಯಮಧರ್ಮರಾಜ ಅವನಿಗೆ ಬ್ರಹ್ಮ, ಚತುರ್ಮುಖ ಬ್ರಹ್ಮ ಹೇಳಿರ್ತಾನೆ, ನೀನ್ ಈ ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡು, ಎಲ್ಲರದ್ದು ನೀನು ಲಯ ಮಾಡು, ಪ್ರಾಣಗಳನ್ನ ತಗೊಂಡ್ಬಂದು ವಾಪಸ್ ಕೊಡು ಅಂತೆಲ್ಲ ಹೇಳಿರ್ತಾನೆ. ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಹಿಸ್ ಜಾಬ್. ಆ ಥರ ಬೇಕಾದಷ್ಟು ಜನಕ್ಕೆ ನೀನು ಸೃಷ್ಟಿ ಮಾಡು ಅಂತ ಚತುರ್ಮುಖ ಬ್ರಹ್ಮನಿಗೆ ಹೇಳ್ದ ಪರಬ್ರಹ್ಮ. ಈ ಶಿವನ್ನ ಕರೆದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ನೀನು ಸಂಹಾರ ಮಾಡು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ದ. ವಿಷ್ಣು ಕರೆದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ನೀನು ಸ್ಥಿತಿ ಮಾಡು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ದ. ಅವ್ರವ್ರ ಕೆಲಸ ಅವ್ರವ್ರು, ಪಕ್ಕದ ಇನ್ನೊಬ್ಬನ ಕೆಲಸ ಅವನು ಮಾಡೋಂಗಿಲ್ಲ. ಹಾಗೆ ಗಣೇಶ ಎಲ್ಲಾರ್ಗೂ ವಿಘ್ನವನ್ನು ನಿವಾರಣೆ ಮಾಡು ಅಂತ ಗಣೇಶಂಗೆ ಹೇಳ್ದ. ಹನುಮಂತಂಗೆ ಹೇಳ್ದ, ಅವನು ಶಕ್ತಿ, ಬುದ್ಧಿ, ಬುದ್ಧಿರ್ ಬಲಂ, ಯಶೋ, ಧೈರ್ಯಂ, ನಿರ್ಭಯತ್ವಂ, ಅರೋಗತ, ಅರ್ಜುನಂ, ವಾಕ್ಪಟುತ್ವಂಚ. ಹೇಗಿದಾರೆ ನೋಡಿ ಈಗ ಋತ್ವಿಕ್ ಶಾಸ್ತ್ರಿ. ಯಾವುದು ಹನುಮತ್ ಸ್ಮರಣಾತ್ ಭವೇತ್. ಆತರ ಒಬ್ಬೊಬ್ರು ಒಂದೊಂದು ಫಲವನ್ನು ಕೊಡಕ್ಕಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಚಿಕ್ಕ ದೇವತೆಗಳು, ಕ್ಷುದ್ರ ದೇವತೆಗಳು ಅಂತ ಹೆಸರು. ಕ್ಷುದ್ರ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಕೆಟ್ಟವರು ಅಂತಲ್ಲ, ಚಿಕ್ಕೋರು ಅಂತ. ಫಲ್ಗುನಿ ನಾಮ ಸಿತ್ವಂ. ಫಲ್ಗುನಿ ಅಂದ್ರೇನೋ ಚಿಕ್ಕೋರು ಅಂತ. ಆದ್ರಿಂದ ಬೇಕಾದಷ್ಟು ದೇವತೆಗಳು ಅವ್ರವ್ರಿಗೆಲ್ಲ ಅವ್ರವ್ರ ರೆಸ್ಪಾನ್ಸಿಬಿಲಿಟೀಸ್, ಸಬ್ ಡಿವಿಷನ್ ಆಫ್ ರೆಸ್ಪಾನ್ಸಿಬಿಲಿಟೀಸ್, ಸಮಟೈಮ್ಸ್ ಈವನ್ ಸಬಾರ್ಡಿನೇಟ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ ಇಟ್ಕೊಂಡಿರ್ತಾರೆ ಅವರು. ನನಗೆ ಅಷ್ಟು ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡಕ್ಕಾಗಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ 10 ಜನ ಇರ್ತಾರೆ. ಈಗ ದೇವತೆ ಇರ್ತಾರಲ್ಲ, ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಪರಿದೇವತೆ ಅಂತ ಇರ್ತಾರೆ. ಆ ಥರ ಲಕ್ಷ್ಮಿಗೆ ಅನೇಕ ಪರಿಚಾರಕರು ಇರ್ತಾರೆ, ಅವರು ಎಲ್ಲ ವರಗಳನ್ನು ಕೊಡ್ಬೋದು. ಹಾಗೆ ಅನೇಕ ದೇವತೆಗಳು. ಹಾಗೆ ಅರ್ಯಮ, ಅದು ಎಲ್ಲಾರೂ ಅದಕ್ಕೆಲ್ಲ ಏನ್ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ, ಆಧಿಕಾರಿಕ ಪುರುಷರು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರಪ್ಪ ವೇದಾಂತದಲ್ಲಿ. ಅಧಿಕಾರ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಜಾಬ್, ರೋಲ್. ಹಂಗೇನೆ ಎಲ್ಲಾ ದೇವತೆಗಳು ಹಂಗೇನೆ. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಆಧಿಕಾರಿಕ ಪುರುಷರು ಅಂತ ಇರ್ತಾರೆ. ಅಧಿಕಾರ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಹೆಚ್ಚಾಗಿ ಜ್ಞಾನ ಇರುತ್ತೆ, ಅವರು ಆ ಕೆಲಸವನ್ನ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಪ್ರಪಂಚಕ್ಕೆಲ್ಲ ಸೇರಿದ್ದಂತೆ ಒಂದೊಂದು ರೆಸ್ಪಾನ್ಸಿಬಿಲಿಟಿ ಕೊಟ್ರೆ ಅವಕ್ಕೆಲ್ಲ ಆಧಿಕಾರಿಕ ಪುರುಷರು. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಆದಿತ್ಯ, ದಶರುದ್ರ ಅವರೆಲ್ಲ ಇರ್ತಾರಲ್ಲ, ಅವರೆಲ್ಲ ರೆಸ್ಪಾನ್ಸಿಬಿಲಿಟಿ ಶೇರ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೋತಾರಪ್ಪ.
ಓಕೆ.
ಧನ್ಯವಾದಗಳು. ನಮಸ್ಕಾರ.